these folks in the Circle City, they love their Colts, and they have packed the house tonight as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
We know they have these RPOs in their playbook, and look, we're seeing it here in the first quarter. You think we're going to see it as the game continues?
They trotted them out early for a reason, partner. They're letting them know that this is in the arsenal, and we rely on it. You better be prepared because this is going to be an all-day affair trying to stop them.
Bridgewater, a play fake to McCaffrey. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on third down. And third down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a fourth down.
So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indy set to go on offense once more. Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
On 3rd down, Rivers. And he'll find Pittman. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On second down, it's Mack, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Rivers hands this one to Mack. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Mack. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He's going to try and do this himself. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Bridgewater now from the 50. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That's good for a Carolina first. Bridgewater to Moore.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And Bridgewater able to get this complete to Anderson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
What's easy needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To the air again with Bridgewater. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Bridgewater again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater able to hook up with DJ Moore as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing is Bridgewater. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect. Made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rivers. That's into the hands of Pascal. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 42. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
The Rivers throw going to be caught by Pittman.
That catch good for only a couple.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and it'll bring up third down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They missed a field goal earlier, so possibly as a result, that's why they're going to try to go for it here on fourth down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all count.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Grover Stewart gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Taken in the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution?
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Derek Brown.
Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Another try after the first down sack. Rivers, middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
This goes out right to Doyle. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Bridgewater. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Bridgewater, a play fake to McCaffrey. He'll look to throw.
And that will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Colts getting another possession here on offense.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And his throw here's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Here's Rivers. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On first down, Hines. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Black 15!
From the gun, Rivers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hines. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
On third down, Rivers. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, Bridgewater gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Bridgewater going to give this to McCaffrey.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Bridgewater on first down. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do that.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown.
Teddy Bridgewater able to hook up with DJ Moore.
And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Rivers on first down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And his throw is incomplete. Zach Pascal, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Colts on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be third and forever.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On the ground, McCaffrey. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
after the made field goal. Here's Sly to kick this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
And the Colts getting ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. A first down throw here for Rivers. A good throw here finding Pascal. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, it's Rivers. Able to get away.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Now that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Carolina getting set to take the field. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll run with McCaffrey. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a run with McCaffrey. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
Let's get it poppin'. Let's get it poppin'.
Then with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here we go with McCaffrey. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
And there's your dagger right there. I tell you, there's a lot of coaches in the league that would not have gone for it on 4th down. But with a 2-score lead, they roll the dice, get the first down, and that should be enough to salt this one away.
Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.